The first thing I notice about Grandma's house is the silence. Not peaceful silence, the kind that makes your chest feel tight like you've walked into a room that's been holding its breath for too long. The air feels thick like the house itself is waiting for something. Mom says it's just because it's been empty for months. Dad says the pipes are old. But I know better. The place feels awake. We moved in last week after Grandma's funeral. Mom couldn't stand the idea of the house being sold. She said it was part of the family. I think she just felt guilty she wasn't there when Grandma died. Grandma's death was ruled as drowning. In the bath. But when I asked Mom about it, she just said she had a heart attack. Evan. It was peaceful. The thing is, I've seen the police photos she tried to hide. Grandma didn't look peaceful. Her eyes were open, wide, and her mouth was frozen like she was mid-scream. I didn't tell Mom I saw those pictures. But since the day we moved in, I've been having the same dream every night. I'm standing at the bathroom door, water running inside. The floor is cold under my feet. I can hear something breathing through the vent above the tub, slow and heavy. And then just when I'm about to open the door, it stops. That's when I wake up. It's our 5th night here when I find the box. I'm unpacking Grandma's old trunk, the one Dad said to leave alone, when I find it tucked under some blankets. A small wooden box with peeling varnish and a metal latch that looks rusted shut. On the top, in faded black ink, is written, "For when the house forgets to breathe." Inside there are a bunch of cassette tapes. Old, dusty ones labeled with dates and handwritten titles like Whispers January 9th, Night 2, and one that just says, "Don't Stop Breathing." I grab Dad's old tape recorder from the attic and push in the last one. At first all I hear is static. Then a voice, soft, raspy, and painfully familiar. It's Grandma. She's humming something. A lullaby. The same one she used to sing when I was little. But behind her voice there's something else. A faint scratching sound. Like long fingernails dragging across wood. Then she stops humming. Her voice drops to a whisper. If you stop breathing, it listens. It waits for the silence. That's when it comes closer. I pause the tape. The house creaks, long, deep, like an old lung exhaling. For some reason I start breathing heavier. Like I'm trying to fill every corner of the room with sound. When I hit play again, the voice isn't Grandma's anymore. It's deeper. What? Breathing right into the mic. I hear you. I rip the tape out and throw it across the room. Mom asks if I'm okay that night. I lie and say I'm just tired from unpacking. She's been distracted since we moved in, staying up late, staring out the kitchen window, saying she hears raccoons in the walls. But there aren't any raccoons. I've checked. That night as I lie in bed, the vent above me makes a faint hissing sound. Not the normal kind of air flow, it's rhythmic. Almost like breathing. I try to ignore it, pulling the blanket tighter around me. Then I realize the sound changes whenever I stop breathing. When I exhale, it exhales. When I hold my breath, it holds too. Until it doesn't. When I stop breathing for more than a few seconds, I hear something shift inside the vent. A faint thump. Then another. Like something crawling closer. I breathe out fast, heart racing. The sound stops. I don't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, I ask Dad if he ever heard weird noises when he was a kid here. He chuckles. You mean the vents? Yeah. Your grandma used to tell me the house was alive. Said it breathed with us. Creeped me out when I was your age. He walks away laughing, but I can't stop thinking about that phrase. Breathe with us. That evening, when the house gets quiet, I start hearing it again. The steady inhale and exhale. The faint hum of something alive. I put my hand against the wall near the vent. The wallpaper is slightly warm. It's breathing. I try another tape. This one's dated a few months before Grandma died. Her voice sounds shakier. I can't sleep anymore. Every night it gets closer. The moment the air goes still, it starts listening again. I tried holding my breath once. I felt it lean against the wall beside me. There's a long pause, then a soft, wet laugh. Then, it's learning to mimic. The rest is static. By the time Dad gets home from work, Mom's acting strange. She's standing by the living room wall, face tilted toward the vent, eyes half closed. Mom? I ask. She jumps like she forgot I existed. What? Nothing, sweetheart. I was just listening. To what? She smiles faintly. The house. It's breathing again. That night, I record everything. I set my phone by the vent before going to bed, hit record, and let it run. At 3:08 a.m. I wake up. The house is dead quiet. The kind of silence that makes your ears ring. And then, breathing. Right above me. I stay perfectly still, barely daring to inhale. The sound moves down the vent. Slow. Dragging. Like something wet sliding closer. My phone starts buzzing beside me. The recording stopped. Battery dead. In the faint moonlight, I see the vent cover shift. Just a millimeter. Then again. There's a whisper, too soft to be real. Don't stop breathing. I gasp so hard I choke on air. The vent goes still. Somewhere in the walls, I hear something laugh. It's almost midnight and the air inside the house feels wrong. Too still. Too cold. Evan sits alone in his room, wrapped in a hoodie, laptop screen lighting up his face. Outside, the winter wind drags across the old house, whispering through the cracks like something breathing slowly. He pauses his typing. There it is again, that faint sound from the vent. A low inhale. Then a slow exhale. At first he thinks it's just the heater. But the heater's been dead for 2 months. He knows that sound by heart now, the kind of breathing that isn't mechanical. It's deliberate. Listening. Evan leans forward and whispers, "Hello?" Silence. He tries to shake it off. Maybe it's a raccoon or a draft. But something inside him doesn't buy that. Because every time he breathes out, the sound from the vent breathes in. Like it's syncing with him. He gets up, walks closer to the vent. The air smells metallic like wet coins and rust. He crouches, presses his ear against the cold steel. And there it is, faint but clear. Breathing. Human. Evan backs away, heart racing. He laughs under his breath, nervous. Okay, maybe I'm just tired. He checks his phone, 12:17 a.m. He opens his camera, switches to video mode and points it at the vent. "All right," he mutters, forcing a grin, "let's see if my vent's haunted." He records for 10 seconds. Nothing. He exhales in relief, until he plays it back. On the recording there's a whisper. Not words. Just a noise. But unmistakably human, like someone trying to copy his breathing pattern. The video cuts with a tiny glitch at the end. He drops the phone onto his bed. For a long moment he just stares at the vent. The sound's gone now. Everything's too quiet again. Then the lights flicker once. Third person now. The camera of our mind pans slowly across the dark hallway outside Evan's room. The walls are lined with framed photos, family portraits, all smiling faces. But if you look closely, one of the photos is turned slightly, tilted as if someone brushed by it. Inside the room, Evan tries to distract himself with YouTube. Random videos play, game highlights, music. But then, without him touching anything, the screen turns black. The speakers pop softly. And from the laptop comes a whisper, the same breathing pattern. Evan slams the lid shut. The sound stops instantly. He takes a deep breath, rubs his face. Okay, chill. It's nothing. Just static. He reaches for his phone again, the screen lights up. 12:33 a.m. One notification, audio saved. He never saved anything. He opens the voice memo app. The file's name is today's date. He taps play. For 10 seconds there's silence. Then a low voice says, almost kindly, "Don't hold your breath, Evan." He freezes. He stares at the phone until the screen times out. His reflection stares back, pale, wide-eyed. The house creaks somewhere deep like old bones shifting. He doesn't sleep that night. Morning. Evan tells himself it was a dream. Lack of sleep. Overthinking. But when he checks the vent again, he notices something new. A tiny smudge on the metal, shaped like a fingerprint. Smudged from inside. He calls the landlord. No answer. That evening, he sets up his phone to record again, camera pointed at the vent, flashlight on. He leaves it recording while he goes to the kitchen. The house hums with low, cold air. When he comes back 15 minutes later, the phone's dead. Battery drained from 82% to 0. He plugs it in, powers it back up, opens the gallery. The video is still there, 14 minutes and 42 seconds long. He plays it. At first it's just static noise. Then, around the 7-minute mark, the vent cover shifts slightly. Barely noticeable, but it moves. The flashlight beam catches something dark and slick behind the slats, something that moves back. Then the breathing starts again, louder this time. Closer. At 14:10 the camera shakes, like the phone was nudged. And in the final second, right before the footage cuts, a single whisper bleeds through. You stop breathing again. The video ends. Evan's hand trembles as he drops the phone. He doesn't even realize he's holding his breath until his lungs burn. He exhales, shaking, eyes locked on the vent. He grabs a screwdriver from his drawer and unscrews the cover. The air coming out is freezing. His fingers sting from the cold. He shines a flashlight inside, but there's no ductwork. Just black, endless space. He mutters that's impossible. He sticks his phone inside, using the flashlight to see deeper. The light catches something pale moving far in the dark. A face? No, smoother than skin. And then it moves toward him. Evan jerks the phone back, slams the vent shut, scrambles to his bed. He can't even scream. Hours pass. The sun sets again. He's too afraid to sleep, too afraid to move. Every so often he hears soft taps from inside the vent, like fingernails gently tracing the metal. Next night, the house feels colder. Evan sits at his desk, wrapped in 2 hoodies. Every exhale hangs in the air like fog. He stopped recording now. He doesn't want proof anymore. He talks softly just to feel less alone. Whatever you are, please just go. The reply is a slow inhale from the vent. He stands shaking. What do you want? For the first time the voice answers, faint, cracked, like air through broken glass. To listen. He backs up, heart hammering. Listen to what? The voice whispers to you. The light bulb above him pops. The room goes black. Evan's breathing quickens, loud in the silence. Every time he gasps, the thing in the vent gasps too, matching rhythm for rhythm. Then it shifts again, voice closer now. You breathe too fast when you're scared. He stumbles out of the room, slams the door behind him, runs to the kitchen. The house feels wrong now, like the air itself is heavy. The vents hum in every room, low and alive. He grabs his phone, dials 911. No signal. In the dark living room, the vents start whispering all at once. A chorus of soft breaths filling the air. Some are higher, some deeper. But all of them, human. He runs outside, barefoot on frozen concrete. The night is dead silent. His breath clouds the air. He looks back at the house. All the windows are dark except one. His room. The light inside flickers faintly. Something moves behind the curtain. He wants to run, but his body doesn't listen. He takes one shaky step forward. And then, for the first time, the sound comes from behind him. Breathing. Right at his neck. He spins around. Nothing. Only the cold, endless dark. He sprints back inside, locks the door, presses his back against it. He's crying now, muttering, it's not real, it's not real. From the hallway vent, a whisper, then stop breathing. He doesn't remember falling asleep. But when he wakes, it's morning again, light gray through the curtains. He thinks maybe it's over. Maybe whatever it was is gone. He goes to the vent one last time, kneels down and says quietly, please, just leave me alone. For a long moment, silence. Then gently the voice says, okay, I'll listen to someone else now. Evan freezes. His blood runs cold. Someone else? He looks at his phone, dozens of new notifications. Voice memos. Recordings from last night, auto-saved. He opens one. It's not his breathing anymore. It's someone else's. Higher pitch. Faster rhythm. A woman's voice whispering, terrified, who's there? The audio cuts. Evan's throat goes dry. He looks at the vent again. The inside is completely still. But now, deep within the dark, he sees movement again, moving away, like something crawling through the system. Searching. Third person, slow pan. The camera moves through the vent shafts, deeper and deeper into the darkness. We pass corners, dust, old wires. The breathing echoes faintly, distant now. It stops at another vent. A different room. A young woman sits at her desk, typing on her laptop, earbuds in. She pauses, frowns, and looks up at the vent. She tilts her head, listens, then smiles nervously and whispers hello? From the vent, a low, steady inhale. Then a slow exhale, perfectly matching hers. Cut to black. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe to Cursed Nightmares. See you in the next one. Take care.